It's Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Welcome everybody. I'm Eric. It's Sideboardmtg and it's Subscriber Sunday. Hope I didn't just blow your eardrums out. But you know, it's Sunday and we're gonna get to have some fun. We've got an indomitable creativity deck for you guys today. We've got Crocodile Tribal. And then we got an Esper control deck that's sole mission in life is just to take your opponent's stuff and kill him with it. Not my own gun! Come on! Either way, if you like tonight's show, I hope you give it a thumbs up. You know, give some love to the people who built these decks. We are going to be meta-tuning them, and if you like the content in general, as always, subscribe to the channel. We'll be happy to have you as part of the community. Speaking of the community, real quick update on the channel. We're growing at a very good rate, so thank everyone who's, you know, sharing the videos and, you know, and word of mouth and people, you know, talking about, you know, hey, this redneck's playing Magic, Sideboardmtg, check him out. It's a typo, so you got to tell YouTube, you know, I actually meant, you know, Sideboardmtg. But you know, hey, thanks everyone, everyone who's a subscriber, everyone who's part of, you know, our Reddit. The Reddit is growing. We're growing a lot over there. There's a lot of active people, so, you know, even if I can't get around to your decks, there's other people who are, you know, looking at these decks and commenting on these decks. And as always, you don't have to take the advice, but to get more eyes on your idea and help make it more competitive. That's always the idea. So constructive criticism there, but yeah, we've got our smash emoji. I've got to go in and cut the white out of it, but we've got our smash emoji here, and it's pretty cool. I like it. I got to give a shout out to Eben, who is the designer of our smash emoji. He had more likes on it. I'm still in the air on the white in the background. I think I'm gonna have to go cut the white out for the chat. But here, we'll jump over to it. Currently it's got this white box around it when I pull up the black background for chat, and I think I want to see if I can just like cut that completely out so we just have the emoji. So that's something that I'll probably be doing, you know, to alter that here in the near future. But again, we are now at 10 sponsors, so cheers everyone. It's just coffee. Hope everyone enjoyed last night. I had a lot of fun. Wow, man, I had so much fun last night. Robert said he made it on time. Andrew is here, and then we've got another Andrew in here. Nevergun is here. We got so many Andrews in this group. We got Andrew G, Andrew P, we got Tony P, Albatross. Man, that name it's really starting to get me. I really like that. Like Alba T Ross, Albatross. That's awesome. Is that Melanie Flynn? Well, I'm just gonna say Flynn. Ramo, welcome. Stickler for Bricks. Who else we got in here? I know we had someone else earlier. Was Zaxadillo here? No, yeah, Zax is in the house. And other than that, I think I give everyone a shout out. If I didn't get your name, John Webb, welcome. Rush, what's up? If I didn't get you, let me know. Just type shout out in chat. I'll see it. Exclamation point shout out, something like that. Either way, let's talk about this indomitable creativity deck we got right here. It's Mardu by nature, like naughty by nature. It's Mardu by nature. There's a little bit of a black splash in the deck, not a lot, but there is a slight amount of black in the deck for lands and for finish. And then, of course, most of the time we're probably actually going to be trying to cheat out this Razakath. I'm not 100% on how much I like trying to cheat out a Razakath, but I do like having some black mana in the deck. So if we could get lucky and get three mana to actually play the Razakath, but most of the time we're gonna be trying to like sack tokens and things like that to actually get either an Angel of Invention or Razakath. And that's kind of the idea of the deck. You create tokens, and since there's only a few creatures in the deck, you're either going to get an Angel of Invention or you're going to get a Razakath. And then if you get Razakath, then you can sack yet another token to the Razakath. Or if you get both an Angel and a Razakath, then you know, you sack some tokens there, go get whatever, you know, card you want to continue doing this and do It's pretty much a one-shot pony, though. If you do happen to sack, 5 creatures, and you go get all 5 creatures in your deck, and they board wipe, then you're pretty much stuck on Chandra and Gideon, and tokens. Like, I mean, you can still win the game here. So now this deck did sit around in our Reddit for a little while and had not been updated. Still had the Raminot Ruins in it, but it looked like a lot of fun, and I really wanted to play it anyway. The first time I'd ever really seen an Indomitable Creativity deck was with Gear Hulks and the Locust God, where you would just draw a bunch of cards, and you would create some treasures, and you would sack those treasures to go get Gear Hulks or the Locust God, which when they entered the battlefield, you would draw a bunch of cards to make a bunch more Locusts. Yeah, it was a little crazy. I think Magic Aids might have been the first one to do that I seen. Just a really cool like gear explosion deck or something like that. But either way, it was a cool deck, and that's kind of the idea we have here. And then, of course, in the sideboard, just answers to pretty much everything. Another Chandra, another Gideon to round out the play set, because who doesn't want to just play all 4 Chandras, all 4 Gideons, and run off of that, which makes me go, man, I mean, if you got the 4 Chandras, 4 Gideons, you could probably have some kind of red-white approach list going on here. And I personally think the deck needs some baffling ends, just kind of glancing at it, but I like everything it's got going on here. Release the Gremlins will help give you some tokens, which you can then sack those tokens to your Indomitable Creativity, flip through your deck, go get some things. It'll work. It will work. We just have to get the mana to make it happen. So, if there was ever a place I would actually think about running the Pirates Pillage, this would be the deck. This would be the deck that I might be interested in, Pirates Pillage. So, either way, this deck looks like it's going to be pretty sweet. What's up, Crew Fix? SD? You guys sneaking in on me? You like me for some reason? You glutton for punishment? Yeah, well, here we go. We're gonna jump into some punishment, and I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like, seriously, guys, we might have to work on the mana base a little bit. It could probably use a swamp or two just to guarantee that we could like kill stuff with the backside of that. But hey, I'm excited. It's Sunday. It's a Sunday evening. We're just relaxing. We're gonna play some Magic. We're gonna have some fun. Hopefully, maybe even tune these decks up a little bit. See just how competitive we could make them. Personally, I think this one's so jank that I would want to actually tune it to be more jank. Just, like, hey, let's see if we can get some treasures in here. Let's see if we can just make this go off. So, more like punishment. You're good. You're good. All right. Well, let's see if we can get this this deck firing on all cylinders here, and hopefully we can. It'll be a lot of fun, man. If we can get this thing to go off. Yeah. If I would have done this, like, it looks so much better on this background. Let me see if I can change this. Right, like, look at that background. Like, the emoji looks great on that background, but I don't personally like that background. Yeah, what's up? There's Lamp. Okay, what do we get? We're holding creature in our hand. That's not exactly what we want, but we've got like early removal. We got a Chandra. We'll probably just play the creature. That'd be fine. Sure. Bowmat Courier, this is happening. Okay, well. Maybe we live to get there. Chandra tick up, make some extra mana is always great. Okay. right? See, that was me. I like the dark chat, which is why I want to go through and cut the emoji so that it looks better on the dark chat. It won't be hard to cut the white out of the background, so. Well, we got our white source for the angel. He's got 4 cards in hand. We can kill something this turn, depending on if he plays on crop or not. Okay, so there's a bow mat. So I'm just gonna abrade the Bowmat Courier. And as always, if you have the option to pick destroy target artifact, you should pick destroy target artifact, just in case he had like a built to smash. Like, you wouldn't want, see, so he just went ahead and sacked it for 2 cards, and we take 1,000,000. Wow. All right. Well, only thing we can do here is pass, and then if he goes to shoot us for more, we remove it. So I'm just gonna strike the Earthshaker Kenra. If he's got another pump here, then I'm definitely in some trouble. Okay, so he's gonna shock me. Alright, well, I'm gonna play the red source. We're gonna go Chandra and kill we're gonna kill this, so if he wants to sack, then he has to draw a haste creature. Otherwise he needs to put 3 cards under it and then come after us, and then next turn we're gonna play the Angel of Invention. So I'm leaving him an open shot to not sack this. So I mean, the other option was he's gonna sack it at the end of turn and then draw 2 cards to try to burn me out, but ooh, he just went for me, left Chandra. Okay. Okay. So what can we do with that? I think we just make bodies. We're gonna go servos. We will tick Chandra up. And nope. Alright, well, he knows what kind of deck we are now, so that happened. Ooh, Link is mad. Alright, Karizev. So what is he going to make not block? Okay. We will block this. Well, let's play the untapped source. We're gonna go up on mana because we need 3 to cast this. So there we go. You know what? I messed up already. I was supposed to crack him for 2 and do this second main phase. And I can't go back. Can't go back on Chandra. So I need to just go ahead and do this. So X is currently 2. Pay 2 more. So we should get Angel. Okay, there we go. That will work. That will work. Yeah, that seems fine. That seems fine. What do you got, opponent? Scoop! Yeah! Punt or no punt. When it works, the deck is powerful. Indomitable creativity. When created right. Wow. What the hell just happened, Rush said. Well, I sacrificed two guys, and because the deck was built properly, it only has certain creatures in the entire deck. So the only creatures I could possibly go get are Angel of Inventions or Razakath. So no matter what I sacrifice, I'm either going to get an Angel or a Razakath. And I sacrificed 2 creatures, so I was going to get either an Angel and a Razakath or 2 Angels. And that's kind of how the deck works. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, I think these decks are awesome. So, do I think, what other colors do you have? If you're wanting to run Slash of Talons, what other colors do you have? Because, yeah, I'm saying that Baffling End is good because it will exile things, but, yeah, Slash of Talons it is a good card, but I personally think that if you have red, you should be like, oh, green-white. Yeah, you don't have a whole lot. You don't have a lot of options. Yeah, Magma Spray is one of my favorites right now, especially with the amount of Kenras that are getting played in like the red-green decks. I wish there was a, you know, Incinerate. Incinerate would be so good right now. Like just, or not Incinerate, which was the 2 mana that exiled. 3 damage, 2 mana, but it would exile. Man, that was a good card. Let's bring in Authority. We got some time here. What do we want to cut out? We got Queen's Commission. I mean, we make a bunch of like... I want to keep my token makers. So, I'm actually going to say 1 Servo Expedition, and we'll say 1 Queen's Commission. And then... I doubt we're going to get away with release the gremlins or anything like that, so we'll see. I think I just really want the authorities here. Possibly, instead of the abrades, just bring in the magma sprays. But yet I could probably just use more of those. I didn't want the cast outs, but I don't know what over. I think we just try to just beat the opponent, so maybe we just don't need cast out. Not exactly scared of Hazard. I should be. I should be very scared of Hazard, but I'm not. Oh man, this is a bad hand. Oh, mulligan that. You don't want to see your creatures. It's not bad. I'm going to keep it. We're going to put that on the bottom because we're like loaded. Just loaded. Oh, wow, he's just gonna pass. Alright, so... Sure. Yeah, there's Prey Upon, there's Pounce, there's a lot of green fight cards that might be able to help you out. I'm gonna start burning the opponent. Ooh, there's an on-crop crasher. Alright, so we can start deflecting with Gideon for a minute. Alright, so we stop the on-crop crasher. Skyweller's shot. Skyweller's shot's not that bad. Well, I think he's looking for something a little bit lower on the curve. if he's asking for like slash of talons and stuff, I'd say he's looking for something much lower on the curve. Oh man, did we really just pull another one? Alright, well. So we're looking at... Sure. Whatever. Alright, so end of turn, we're going to make 2 tokens. And then we're going to sacrifice those tokens to go get extra bodies. Right, yeah. He's coming at Gideon. Alright, so we make us the tokens. We play land for the turn. We could just play the angel, but she would just get killed. I mean, we're probably going to end up with the angel anyway, so I could swing, but I'm not going to. So we're going to say okay and tap 5 mana here. Alright, so either 2 angels or Angel and Razakath. Bam. Alright, Angel and Razakath. And we're going to say we want servos, of course. Because now we can sacrifice those servos to go draw any card we want. And Glorybringer can no longer deal damage. What do you guys think about this? What is this jank? What? Get wrecked, son! Alright, so he's got a desert. He's going to target the angel. I'm going to pay 2 life and sacrifice the angel. And what card do I want? What card would we like to have? Chandra seems decent, right? Let's say we want a Chandra. Sure. We don't have to reveal it. He don't know what we're getting. Oh, it's smashing time. Right, yeah, we've got so much good stuff going on. Woo, so good. I mean, next turn we technically just start hard casting angels. Like, what do you want to do, opponent? What do you want to do? He's probably looking around going, which thing did he go get? So you can make Razakath not... Aw. Wow, we just pulled another start. And then we're... again, I'm just going to hard cast angels back to back now. Alright, so I'm going to sack the angel. I mean, he targets it, I'll sack it. And we're going to search our library for a card. What do we want now? Authority? Queen's Commission? Sheffet Dunes? Probably a Sheffet. Yeah, I want a Sheffet. I think Sheffet's the way to go here. Like, what do I do that could cause us to lose this at this point? I'm sure there's something. There's got to be something. So I stopped the Glorybringer. And we just have blockers for anything that would be coming at Gideon. Next time we can go Chandra and have up this, or we can play the... Ooh. Is he really wanting Gideon dead or something? That's enough. Dumping his hand here. So if he exerts on one, I block the 2/3 power dudes. Gideon, he has to send everything at Gideon. So is he coming at me? 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 So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'd be within 4 points. He's got 0 cards in hand. Next turn we can swing for 8 in the air, so 4 of that gets through. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's got 0 cards in hand, plus Gideon. Yep, I take it. I mean, we just fire Gideon up, play the Angel, or I could just play the Shephet Dunes and crack it. I mean, it doesn't really matter here. We're going to be plus the Angel. That's even more damage because this will be swinging 9 in the air. Yeah. Yep. Because that just happened. Wow. Should be like -2. Ooh, he's trying to draw. MJS Classroom? MJ's Classroom? Cool. Alright, MJ. Should probably like try to become part of the community, but you know. I'll check you out. Let's see what's going on. What do you do in your classroom, MJ? It has absolutely nothing to do with Magic the Gathering. Man, come on, MJ. If it was about Magic, we'd be all about it. But, you know, red deck loses the pure jank of this deck. What is going on here? I checked out your channel, MJ. You have absolutely nothing to do with Magic, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, though. Man, Andrew. Dude, my man. So, wow. Red deck just got run over. Not gonna happen. Just subscribe. Thank you, sir. Thank you for subscribing. Wow. Indomitable Creativity. I mean, when you hit the Indomitable Creativity, it's just boom. I want to try this in a Naya shell with Watley. I don't even know if you need the Watley because, like, I think Gideon's probably the right approach here with you know, just buying you a little bit of time. Okay, I'm just gonna hold that back a little bit. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, whatever. We'll hold that off. We're not worried about it. Sure, whatever. Boom. And that's kind of what the deck does. Just boom. Can you imagine some Gear Hulks? That would be a good one. Good one for the sideboard. Couple Gear Hulks, something like that. Chandra and Gideon's do make the deck expensive. However, they both have very intricate roles in the deck. Chandra is going to give you 2 extra mana that's going to allow you to actually be able to cast that Indomitable Creativity when you couldn't. So definitely, if you're going to go for a budget option, I think out of all things, Chandra is going to be more important in creating mana than anything else. So I'm going to say Pirate's Pillage. So thank you for the Horde for bringing that one to my attention. So we actually have a couple budget options to Chandra now. Chandra's always the expensive, hey, I will do all of these things, but we actually have Vance's Blasting Cannons if her first ability is the most important ability in your deck. We have the Pirate's Pillage if you really need to be able to like turn 5 a approach or a 7 mana spell or something like that. You could just Pirate's Pillage and that'll give you that 7 mana on 5, so you can like cheat out a Bolus or something. So if that's the idea in your deck, we do have a couple budget options for Chandra that you could always go with. Now, as far as budget options for Gideon and that ability to just hold something off, we're not really a whole bunch of those. But for the most part, you can probably just make some tokens. I like Gideon. I think Gideon's great, and you know, if you're having to block with your tokens, then you know, if you're having to block with your tokens, you can't sack them to go get things. Now, remember, with Indomitable Creativity, we didn't actually use one of the modes on it. I could have actually selected his creatures and made him trade his creatures in. And if their deck's not built for it, and they have a really good creature on the battlefield, and you make them trade it out for a worse creature, then you actually just came up off of that. However, it is a very big risk, whereas we might have traded a Kari Zev for a Hazard or a Kari Zev for a Glorybringer or something. That was not something we would have wanted to do. So even though that's an option in Indomitable Creativity, just be a little careful when you do it, because they will get to just go get an artifact. But you might trade a creature for like a treasure map or something like that. And so just think about the opponent's deck if you do pick their artifacts and creatures. Do they have a high concentration of creatures? Am I going to trade this Marionette Master in for something else that's not a creature? Highly probably, yeah. Yeah, you might be able to get away with some stuff like that. But it's just, that's the kind of things I would think about if I was going to be casting Indomitable Creativity on the opponent. But when you cast it on yourself, if your deck is built for it, whereas it will go get any artifact or creature, and you don't have a choice, your only real choice in choosing which artifact or creature it's going to give you is in-deck construction. And we see, yes, we finally got the Crocodile Tribal, Justin. We do have the Croc Tribal, so that's going to be a lot of fun there. Good evening, 406 for life. Derbuki? Yeah, we just crushed red deck. I mean, we were getting low on life total, and then it's just bam, double Angel of Invention. Let's go. Now this is not like God-Pharaoh's Gift, Angel of Inventions, where they're not 4/4s and then become 6/6s with haste, and they're not a chroma. But what they are is blockers, and it will make a lot of blockers real quick. The Anthem is really great, especially when you get more than one of these out. All of a sudden we ended up with a bunch of 3/3 dudes just from sacking an Angel of Invention and her the one token that had survived. It was great. So I highly recommend you guys go back and check that gameplay out. I'm not going to, there's not much I can say about this deck. The mana came in just fine. There wasn't any real problems in the mana. You could probably put one other creature in the deck. But I would be really, really picky about which creature I chose. I think the Regal Caracal would be really good because it's going to give you more creatures. So that's one that I would look into. Like if you had Regals, then you could possibly throw those in here. I think the price of Angel's dropping a little bit. So those of you that didn't get this back when GPG was at its all-time hype, it's still the deck's still floating around. Speaking of which, if you'll check the description box, I put down there the decks that I am using this current week, and I'll try to change that from week to week, but that's the 8 decks that I'm thinking about when I'm meta tuning. These are the decks that I want to have good solid answers for, because I'm pretty sure that I will meet those. So those decks are down there, and yeah, there could always be other decks that kind of jump up and other things that you should be able to answer. But if you can answer the ones I've got in the list, the list below, then you should be able to fight most things. So that's the Boros Creativity deck. We talked about some budget options for Chandra here. Again, you want the mana option, so Pirate's Pillage.
I don't know if you really want to trade, these out for more abrade. You could if you wanted to, but I like the lightning strike, and I don't know if you necessarily need to be able to, like finish off like that. But the deck could probably also run some unlicensed disintegration. Most of the time, we did have an artifact, so you might be able to do that, even though it's only servos. But unlicensed disintegration could definitely work in the deck. Hey Eric, when's the next coffee in Reddit? Every Tuesday at 2 and every Thursday at 2. So, like this week we talked about Masters 25 and things like that. So, that's those are always fun. I like doing coffee time. So, I have solidified the name of that show. It's coffee time now. But that was the Boros creativity, guys. I hope you guys like that. Wasn't that awesome? Like just bam, red deck, you're dead. All right, what do we got next, huh? Zaxadillo, you there, sir? Huh? Right, 2 Mountain Standard Time. That'll be 3 Central. So, it's kind of a podcast. You don't really need to be able to watch it. So, it's one of those things where, if you're driving home or something like that, just put it on. I'm talking to you, Rush. You don't have to actually look at it. You can just listen. So that'd be 4 Eastern then. All right. Tick-tock croc. Yeah. Alright, so Zaxadillo was talking about how he didn't actually think that the Gift of Paradise needed to be in the deck, and that we might be able to get away with using something else. Hopefully he's here. Didn't time just change for everyone? Did time just change? Did everyone spring forward? Because it didn't here in Arizona. Because if it did spring forward, then I'm no longer on Mountain Time. I'm now on Pacific Time. Right? Okay. Well, you know what? It is 7:37 here. So, yeah. Thought that's... Andrew's like, thought that's next weekend. Hold on a minute. What? Alright, so... the deck... he said we probably didn't need the Gift of Paradise. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you would want the Horizons, New Horizons. It gives a +1/+1 counter instead. Not 100% on that. Crocodile Tribal. Is there any crocodiles he did not run? Crocodile Tribal. What? Did I not spell croc right? Of course not. Of course I didn't. Crocodile. .311 is spring forward at 2 a.m. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. That's it's good. It's what? All right. So let's just get rid of all colors. That's what it was. Just getting your idea in your head, and they keep you up all night. You'll build it. There you go. What are we talking about? Good method for winning? What did I miss? The way you play MTG now is you look at the decks this channel plays that were made by a strictly better MTG. Wow. Like, so you're not actually playing Magic, you're vicariously living through me playing Magic? I'm hearing that more and more. That's the opposite of what I wanted for the Magic community. I wanted to bring more people to actually playing the game. But I've also heard people say that they bought Magic the Gathering Online. So I guess, there's some people just don't have time for Magic, and I would rather see somebody watch other people play than to fall out of Magic altogether. So, it's a thing. Okay. All right. Well, I am not, 100% terrific at building decks, but I think I'm fairly decent at analyzing, what's being played versus what people will try to play to beat that, and then just, pick the cards that are decent to do those. So that's kind of what we do in meta tuning, you know. Like, we just know that Whirler Virtuoso is a good card in a red-blue deck versus red deck. So if you got a Grixis deck that can play a Whirler Virtuoso without hurting it, then you pop them in there. If red is very, very predominant in your meta, as red falls off of you know, the scale in your meta, then you can slip in, you know, slip a couple Whirlers out. We used to see it with Teamer a lot. When red deck would start falling back, you'd see Teamer drop from 4 Whirlers to 3 to 2, and then they would pick back up, and, you know, and other things. Like as God-Pharaoh's gift got more powerful, we'd see Teamer drop down to 2 Whirler Virtuosos and bring in 2 Abrades. And then as the blue-black control decks got more powerful, they would bring in that 2 slot would all of a sudden become Confiscation Coup. By the way, I'm going to be playing that in my Grixis deck because that's a thing. Yeah, Confiscation Coup, it's great. I'm about to mainboard 1 copy. Just a lot of really good stuff. The Hodalta's Climb decks and things like that. You just take their creature if you're gonna let it live. So yeah, a lot of really cool interactions there. But right, you are 100% right. When we say here's a mimic, and we're calling Crocodile, that's gonna be great. I hope it just goes off. I do. I'm going to jump into a game. We're going to find out what happens. We're going to see if our opponent just goes, what? It's cool that you can go to F&Ms now. You just moved down the street from your local LGS. That's awesome, Jar Jar. I'm glad that you can, you know, go play some F&M. Or, you know, face-to-face Magic. Face-to-face Magic is great. It's one of the things I like the most about being able to play online, is being able to talk to you guys. Yeah, we're not actually face-to-face, but you guys would get upset at me if I was just rude with you, and I think that's important. And as a father, it's definitely something that's important to me, you know. Like, I want my son to be able to have interactions with other people and understand that he could say something that could definitely hurt other people, and I don't want that, you know. Like, so Magic is a good way for me to maybe help him. Okay, that's enough, right? Oh, you made it just in time for the Crocs. Zax, I did not take any of the cards out. Like you said, take the gift out, but I didn't know exactly what you wanted me to put in instead. So, I don't know. I think like Ramen Up Excavator or something could have fit in here, and we could have like spiced this thing up, because it looks like we're just going to try to hit a curve, and the curve looks fairly decent. So, here we go. Man, we are going to get to call dinos on something. On something. Hopefully. Or not dinos, crocodiles. Man, if I accidentally type in dinos, I'm going to be so mad. Andrew's going to be like, are you serious? That's all I wanted out of this deck, was just for you to call crocodiles. Grixis, here we go. Alright, well. Unfortunately, we don't have a good follow-up for 2, because our crocodiles are all expensive. They've lost. They just don't know it yet. Maybe. If we can slip this Vanquisher's banner down, then we should be alright. Although, he's more than likely going to have an answer for it, but So we're going to start playing our Belfels. This has got Amit in it, doesn't it? I could have sworn this thing had Amit. Man, that game was crazy with Indomitable Creativity. I like those decks. Yeah, we got Amit and Belfel. Alright. Had to check. Had to check. Alright, well. I'd say it's time to start jumping into these counter spells. Was this going to be a Supreme Will? You going to maximize your mana? Nope. He's going to let it happen, and he's going to burn it. I assume he burns it. I mean, come on, it is Grixis. There you go, opponent. Good job. Good on you. Okay, okay. Use that Abrade, because that's one Abrade you ain't gonna have for this Vanquisher's banner. I actually want to get this Tenacious Hunter down next turn because like he doesn't have energy, and if he can't counter it, then it'll be hard for him to burn it. He's like, what? 4/4 for 4, baby. What? Vraska's contempted. Come on. You know you want to contempt that. Fine, Glimmer. Get out of here. He did contempt it. Alright. Alright. Amit is the best croc. I agree. I think Amit is definitely the best croc, but Crocodile Tribal, it sounds fun. I mean, and we're against Abrades, Vraska's contempts, all of that good stuff. I'm just gonna play a Vanquisher's Banner and try just like see if we can get through with this. If he's got a counter, then he'll stop this. We called Crocodile. Bantu's the best crocodile? Okay, come on, Crispy. Everybody knows Bantu's a god. Okay, well, we're gonna get to start drawing some additional cards. I actually want to cast this over the Crocodile of the Crossing because I might draw an Amit and then I could cast it. So I'm gonna do this just in hopes that I draw an Amit. We did not draw an Amit. Darn. Okay, well, whatever. What do you got, opponent? He's playing things. Probably going to be like the Scarab. Oh, he's going to abrade it. Come on, opponent. What was our draw engine? Jeez. All the lands in the world, though. Probably should have played the tap one. Bantu's a crocodile, just like Emrakul's a minotaur. Oh, I didn't swing. I forget this thing's got haste. That's my bad. I totally forgot this croc has hate. A green croc with... Why don't we play with this thing? Why don't we play with this thing? I forgot it had haste. Alright, so we swing into this... The reason I didn't play this, I know it'll give it a +1, is because either way it dies to a Gearhulk, and I would rather him go ahead and play so that I can then play the Vanquisher's Banner. Otherwise, he'll be like, Gearhulk into the Abrade, eat this, shoot that. And I don't want that to happen. Alright, we'll just play Tapland. Here we go. If I get Supreme Willed, I'm going to be so mad at myself for not playing this land to get around the Supreme Will. No, just a Torrential into it. You're casting your Torrential a little early there, opponent. He's like, no, I'll cast it. Okay. Alright. Alright. Well, you got the night off. You get to watch the stream. Well, welcome J-Dubs. Glad you get to watch the stream, sir. Alright, guys. Control here. Grixis Control doing work. Yeah. So if I would have played it first main phase, you see I would have just been completely blown out. We really need that draw engine. Right, and Hazard's a fox. So I have a hard enough time trying to figure out which one's male or female versus like which one is you know, this animal or that animal deity. Alright, well this is probably going to be the end of our little shindig here, and we drew another land. Yeah. Okay, well, what can we do here, Tribal? Immortal Sun seems great. I'm going to take out Vraska. We're going to need this. Probably going to Lost Legacy them. Just call. Alright, so what can I get rid of here? That seems good, doesn't it? Croc of the Crossing. Let's get rid of the gifts. Alright, so we don't need gift. Wow, I'll just run the deck like this main board. No. Alright, I want to get rid of 2 more cards because I really want these naturalized. I want to be able to just like, bam, gotcha. I'm not worried about duress. This is not a true control deck. This is a mid-range deck. So I don't want to go too much onto control. Let's say Belful, and we do have some contempts already, don't we? Belful and 1 Crocodile of the Crossing. I like this other one here because if I get a Negmoon counter on something, it can have Death Touch and stuff. So Death Touch and Vigilance actually, which is pretty cool. All right, we do have a scaled behemoth. This is our budget version of Carnage Tyrant. So not exactly a Carny T, but wow, I mean, we've got all the Vraska's contempts. I mean, if we ever get to 4 mana, we can definitely kill their stuff, but unfortunately, this is not a hand that I'm willing to keep. Oh, that hurt. Oh, that hurt. But this could win the game. 3 mana, resolve this, get the Scarab God. I can deal with the Gearhulks. Well, okay, so Scaled Behemoth is a crocodile, but Scaly Bee. Scaly Bee and Carny T. Oh, I love it. There we go. Good old Scaly Bee. I'm actually going to keep this hand. It could be horrible. If it is horrible, then, you know, that's just going to happen. But he's kind of a control deck. I'm going to pray he didn't bring in, like, Glint Sleeve Siphoner. We get to 2 mana, we can cast this. We can make him start killing stuff. We get to 3 mana, we can pull out the Scarab Gods. After that, we should be alright. Maybe I should have kept that first hand. What? You tried looking for Carnage Tyrant today at your LGS? Carnage Tyrant's one of those cards that people just, they hang on to it. I don't think I can afford to go down 1 more. I think we're just going to have to risk it. We're risking it. Could be a bad, like, really bad hand. If it is, I'm just going to jump back into another game. Because I'll take responsibility for this. But if it goes off, then this is the card we need to fight this fight. So, and then these will help as well. We have the tools to fight the fight, but and possibly I scooped early last game. Like, maybe, I mean, we could have top decked a Vraska's Contempt. So, just letting him untap with, you know, the Scarab God just didn't seem right. So, right, J-Light Rangers. Pretty much everything for the red-green monsters deck. I'm just going to shut up and play it. Yep, there we go. Crocodiles. Mimic. Crocodile. Go. Oh no, opponent. You got me. Come on, land. Woo, come on, land. Any untapped sources, just, you know, I don't even care if it's untapped. I'll take it. I'll take it. Like, that's all I can say is, yeah, sure. We can't be mad at this point at getting lands. He might want to like tap out for a search for Azcanta next turn or something like that. And if he does, then we're gold. He's just afraid of that Crocodile Tribal. You're right. He's scared. He's scared. Just so many ways to name Crocs. And we brought in the Immortal Sun. So we've got anthems for our Crocs. Wow. Think he's got a negate? I mean, am I the deck you bring negate in against? I'm going to call the Scarab God. We'll take a look. So he's got 2 of the Scarab Gods. In his hand, he's got an Essence Scatter. Let's do this real quick. Hold on, I'll take a screenshot so we know what we're dealing with. Okay, so he has 2 Torrential Gearhulks that he can kill us with. That's it. Alright. And he doesn't have the mana, or he doesn't have the lands to mill us. So yeah. There we go. We get rid of 2 Torrential Gearhulks. We're golden. He's got 2 negates in the main, or in the board, or in the deck. No, wait, 3 Torrential Gearhulks, and he's got 1 in hand. We can deal with that. Alright, so which one of these? Alright, so this will take Essence Scatter from him. Alright, so we get Essence Scatter here. Or he'll braids. Like, he should probably abrade this if he's smart, but he's gonna abrade it. Alright. He might just let him build. And then just Hour of Devastation. Wipe him. Are we worried about the clock? We might have to clock him. I feel much better about this match, knowing that, you know, what we've done here. Like, the Lost Legacy is going to be pretty good. I mean, his whole plan is to control us into this long game, and then, I mean, he can't cast Torrential Gearhulk on 6 anymore, so... Retro Arcade Fan. I am not SBMTG, that is Dev. That's a whole nother channel. This is Sideboardmtg. I know the initial kind of match, but SBMTG is Dev. But the question is, Retro Arcade, thank you for subscribing, sir. But the question he asked is, have I streamed all the Challenger decks? No. And the Challenger decks won't be out till mid-April. We've got a lot of time for that. So as of right now, I'm going to get 1 league out each week or so. Maybe try to get two out next week. But there's a lot of decks in Standard that we just haven't played yet that I want to get some gameplay on. Like we don't have gameplay on the Red-Green Monsters list that's running around right now with all the Kenras in it. I want to get some gameplay of that. That's how good Standard is right now. Like, there's so many decks to play that are just awesome. And I want to get some gameplay in on them. So I will have all those leagues out before those decks are released, so you know exactly what you're buying. You can see how they pilot. Like, we got a chance to look at the Mardu Rush, or the Vehicle Rush deck. A lot of people were real questionable about how that mana base would work and things, because the mana base looked a little bit wonky, but people were questionable about how it worked. Well, in all 5 games, we just had really great, you know, land and stuff like that. So, your tribal failed on stream? Aw, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. Like, maybe I could have. Maybe it was all me. It was just all me, wasn't it? Yeah. Let's use this 4/4 here to bait out a little bit more hate. We can keep this Amit. The Amit will force out the Hour of Devastation. So here we go. We'll get the counter spell. All right. So he's used his Aether Hub, that we know about. He's used the Abrade and the Essence Scatter. He's still got Torrential, Unlicensed Disintegration, Vraska's Contempt, and an Hour of Devastation. Wow. Alright. Alright. So this is a Contempt target or an Unlicensed Disintegration target. He's probably going to be greedy on the Unlicensed. Right, he made it top 8. He did. For the Horde, took that deck to the top 8 at RLGS, and he did much better than I did. When I tried to run it though, like, I just did not do so well with it. Okay, well, he's going to save the Vraska's Contempt then. Well, we do have a bonus. We have both the oh wow, we just got another answer there. We've got bonuses. We've got the Vanquisher's Banner. So every time we cast a Crocodile, not only do our Crocodiles get +1/+1, but every time we cast a Crocodile, we'll get to draw an additional card. So there's a benefit for having it. Metallic Mimic, that's a payoff for being in it, which those are kind of cheating. Everyone gets to play those cards. Alright, I'm going to play this because he can't get his Torrential down this turn, but pretty much after this, I can't do a whole lot. You just got to, did you just draw an extra Essence Scatter? He did. He just drew another. Okay, well. He does have to kill us, and at this point we get to set back until we get 5 mana. So, yeah, I mean, that's where we're at. We're just gonna set back and let the opponent, do whatever it is he wants to do. Oh, he's gonna do it. Glimmer. Alright, okay, so the Glimmer makes sense because now he's got a Glimmer in the graveyard, which will set him up to Torrential Gearhulk us next turn, which is honestly just taking a whole extra turn off that he probably shouldn't. But it may be enough to allow him to keep up. Wow, double Glimmer. Just draw all the things, opponent. Okay. He's back to 6 cards in hand here. There we go. I'm just gonna pass. He has, so he's got 3 Gearhulks in the deck. One was in hand that we knew about, and then the other one. Alright, so he Gearhulks here. He's targeting Glimmer. I'm just going to try to shoot the Gearhulk. Alright, 1 down. 1 Gearhulk down. Yeah, he had two in the deck and 1 in the hand, so we were just, yeah, there we go. Yeah, I moved it away real quick. So this was his hand when we looked at it. He had a braid, hub. Um, he had a torrential here, so. Woo! All right. Gotta love playing things on a computer. There's so many things you get to do. So we know he got rid of unlicensed, torrential. He's still got an Hour of Devastation. He got rid of Essence Scatter. So the only cards we know about are Vraska's Contempt and Hour of Devastation. He's got Harness Lightnings that he could have drawn. I doubt he's holding Negate, or he probably would have saved the Gearhulk there. He does have another Abrade. What's up, Chris? Man, we're doing great. Disallow, which I don't think he has that either. He might now, but I don't think he did then. He's got 3 copies of Disallow in the deck, so he's got a cool little deck here, though. I mean, it's just a good, clean counter deck. Disallows, Glimmers, Harness, Hour of Devastation, Vraska's Contempt, Unlicensed Disintegration, Search for Esconta, a couple Negates, Braids, yeah, you know, standard stuff. I don't know if I like running 3 hours, though. I mean, geez, that's a lot of Hour of Devastations. I mean, I get it. It gets under your Gearhulk, so no big worry there. Got me, opponent. You got me. Had to go get a forest. Took me off of my 5 black mana. A nice clean deck that is boring to play. That's right, MTG Pack Rat. We are playing Tribal or Crocodile Tribal here, and we've come up against a Grixis control deck. It is Grixis control, not Grixis midrange. We've come up against a Grixis control deck, and as everybody knows, this is a really powerful deck. So definitely having to fight hard here to. Like, I'm having to play so slow. Like, I could have played this Baleful, Ammon a long time ago, but he got it up to 6 mana, and then we knew he had this Torrential Gearhulk in his hand, so we had to wait so much longer before we could actually just cast, a spell. But it looks like next turn we're actually going to get to start casting things like the Baleful, but I would at this point like to wait until I got to even more mana. Oh, wow. Do we think he got that Abrade? Let's see if he's got that Negate. He didn't have it last turn. I think this is it. This Vanquisher's Banner here resolves, and it gets to stick around. Buddy? What's going on? Be wary of your Vanquisher's Banner and Immortal Sun cards. Card draw could kill me first if he doesn't scoop. It probably could, but if he doesn't have counter spells, I am going to just kill him. We're not going to go to mill, because this has hexproof and is bigger than his board wipe. This will get there, unless he casts 2 of them. And if he does cast 2, I'm not actually going to put both down on the battlefield at the same time. So I don't think that we'll get that far. He does have to counter these as they hit. Otherwise, that's the plan, is to kill him with those crocodiles. So here we go. We'll see if he's got the Abrade for it. I mean, if he drew the Abrade, I mean, he drew so many cards. Like, there we go. All right, Abrade. You got it, opponent. Is that all you got? You got more? You got more, opponent? Come on. You know you got it. You know you got it. So, no. A sorcery like Hour of Devastation will still do 5 damage to it, but this is big enough that could actually, you know, live through that. If it was Fumigate, which says destroy all creatures, it doesn't actually target it. So since it's not being targeted, that's a, you know, that's an area of an effect. And then what's that's called? AOE. I don't know. We're gonna go with the. I'm gonna go with the Crocodile of the Crossing. See if we can pull a little something out of his hand here. All right, so this should get a Vraska's Contempt out of his hand. AOE damage. They call it something else in Magic though. It's not state based. It affects the entire board. It doesn't target. So, right? It has haste. It does have haste. You are 100% right. And he's got 10 energy. All them glimmers. Wrath. Yeah, Wrath effect. Thank you. Because it doesn't actually target. It just says, kill everything. Global effects. There we go. So depending on what genre of video game you're originally from, I'm doing it again. So depending on what genre of video game you're originally from, you could probably call it, you know, an AOE or a global or state-based, or not state-based. It's not state-based. It isn't it? No, it doesn't change the state of another abrade opponent. Oh my goodness, splash damage. Right, Val. But yeah, global effects, wrath effects. Does he got a counter? Does he got a counter? Sure, he's got a counter. He's got to have a disallow by now, right? Has to have a disallow. Okay. All right. Well. He's at 29 cards. We're at 38. So, I mean, he's still got 6 cards in hand. We can always go back on the, hey, you're going to have to kill us. Let's try another. It landed. All right. All right, here we go. Now he's got a double hour to kill it. We got more of these in the deck, though, so. But yeah, he's got a double hour to kill this. Okay, opponent. Here we come. Grrr. Carnage Tyrant's better, but honestly, this is still a really good substitute for Carnage Tyrant. If you don't have the money and you just really need that big hexproof body to finish things off, it's a really good substitute. There's one. Are we gonna get them both? Come on, opponent. 2 for 1. Woo! Oh man, it wasn't that sexy. That was great. Alright, what do we want to get rid of? So, we can't call Torrential Gearhulk. We can call the Disallows, and then he's got like nothing left that stops our creatures. Call the Vraska's Contempt that's in his hand. And then the only option he has left is to counter things. Like, he just can't kill. But he can still Lightning Strike and everything else. I'm going to cast it. And I'm going to call... Man, he's only got 2 Disallows left in the hand. He's got... Okay, so he's just going to negate it. Alright. Well, that makes things simpler. That makes things much simpler. Alright, opponent. This is just game 2. We've still got another game if we win this. Harness Lightning. I thought about calling Harness Lightning, but I was afraid there was a good chance he'd have too many of them in his hand. It would just let him draw more cards. So. Boom, boom. Another one bites the dust. Boom, boom, boom. Untap, upkeep, draw. Okay, let's see. Why not Gear Hulk? Gear Hulk. Okay, so the reason why not on the Gear Hulk is Lost Legacy says non-artifact. That's the main reason not on the Gear Hulk. It just Lost Legacy won't target the Gear Hulk. No, this guy's not deck. His not meal. His game plan is just like all the other control decks: Scarab God and Torrential Gear Hulk. However, we've already pulled the Scarab God and we have answers for the Torrential Gear Hulk. So at this point, we've pretty much beat him. But that's why, Andrew. Thank you. We could play like Dispossess. Dispossess will allow you to get artifacts. Right. We need Dispossess in the sideboard. There we go. Thank you, Young. Alright. You got us. Start Vraska's contempting our own dudes. Just gain a little life for the fun of it. I mean, he's still got to kill us, or he needs to scoop. We've got the play set, ladies and gentlemen. We've got the full play set. That's 60 bucks right there. Four Vraska's Contempts. $15 a piece, guys. What is going on with that card? I told y'all it would define the meta. That this was the card that was going to define the meta. And, I mean, it is making the Phoenix worth money because you have to play Phoenixes in order to get their Contempts. Oh, man. You got it, opponent. Just go for it. All the way, opponent. Just go for it. Right? Yeah, man. If you've got 10 of these, at one point they were like $2 and $3 a piece because everybody was mad, right? Like Grasp of Darkness had just rotated out. 2 black mana, kill Hazard. That's what everybody cared about. 2 black mana, kill Hazard. And everybody was like, "Are you serious? No, I've got a..." What? Subscriber? No. Handful of Contempt. Not a subscriber. Andrew, he says handful of Contempt. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you so much. Anyway, Contempts are, you know, they're really, really good. They really define, like, we're going to spend 2 on this Gear Hulk. And we can pay for Supreme Will or a, yeah, there we go. Bam! Gone! So now we've got 2 more for the last one. Alright, opponent. Crocodile Tribal. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. He needs to scoop. Like, the opponent needs to scoop and get into game 3. But, yeah. Right? Are Vraska's Contempts in the Planeswalker deck? Are they really? Yeah, we're getting there, Zax. Looks like it's going to be a you know, a clocking, but we're getting there. Who knows? We might actually be able to tick-tock goes the clock. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Reminds me of Captain Hook for some reason, but tick-tock goes the clock. He's only got 13 cards in deck, so yeah, we might mill him, but so him fighting over this Croc means that they have 7 in hand. Yeah, they've got 13 in library. 7 in hand, 13 in library, and
mean, if he's got another negate, he's got it. But there we go. That was the final one. That was the final win con. All right, he's got to kill us in like 3 minutes. I love what we done with the deck. I'm gonna drop another Croc of the Crossing and a Tenacious Hunter, and I'm just gonna make him kill me in time. Yeah. We did. We lost Legacy to the Scarab God. We did that on like turn 3 or 4, but... James, welcome, sir. Just noticed you in chat here. We are live, man. It's going great, buddy. James here has got, like, probably one of the most awesome Teamer Dino lists that I've seen so far. But, yeah, another one who has come to be a firm believer in how good the Crook of Condemnation is. Like, seriously, guys, you got to run Crook in almost every deck. It is the best piece of... Nah, we don't want duress here. I honestly just do not want duress here. I'm worried about killing 4 things. I'm not worried about him drawing. I'm not worried about anything else. Or actually 2 things. I'm worried about the Scarab God and Torrential Gearhulk. He's got 2 Scarab Gods, 2 the Scarab Gods, and 3 Torrential Gearhulks. So if he brought in maybe a Nizahal or something like that, I'm not really worried about that. So either way, we've got a little over 11 minutes to make our decisions. He's got a lot less than that, so I don't have any green. I don't like this hand. I don't want to mulligan again, but this barely worked out for us last time. I'm gonna keep. Ooh. I'm gonna keep. Man, this deck likes me. Kind of. We'll see. We were stuck on land earlier, but again, he's got to kill us. And he's got 3 minutes to do it. And you guys know how quick you can eat through a minute. So, yeah, like, rewarded heavily. Both games. I was rewarded last game, too. I mean, we missed a couple land drops. We were still rewarded for it. That worries me. That Glint Sleeve Siphoner definitely worries me. Alright, well. Yeah, spin them braids here. No, it's a Harness Lightning. That's not what we wanted to see. That's going to give him a bunch of draw. Ooh, look, another land. We'll play the Crocodile past turn. We've got the mana now to play Amit next turn. He's got 2 minutes and 35 seconds. He might actually be able to get there with a Glint Sleeve Siphoner if I ain't able to deal with it. But I think we might be able to throw up a blocker here. Absolutely, opponent. Get in there. You get in there. Essence Scatter? Did we get it? Is it Essence Scatter? Yeah, it is. Alright. Sweet. We do need a black source. He's got to do it in 2 minutes. He might be able to, like, you can do a lot of work in 2 minutes if you're really playing Magic. Like, if you're paying attention and you're clicking, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. 2 minutes is a long time. Alright, well, we're going to try to get this Amit down. Alright, so he'll Fatal Push the Amit. Alright, whatever. Maybe not. He didn't run Fatal Push, did he? Did he even have Fatal Push in the deck? Yeah, he's got 2 Fatal Push. Ooh, he's just going to Contempt it. Alright. Okay. Minute 35, opponent.
I mean, he might get there, guys. Alright. Oh, I don't even have the mana to cast that. Alright, well. He might get there with a glint sleeve. Glint sleeve may go all the way. No! Croc Tribal, man. We're trying to get it done with Croc Tribal, sir. Alright, we're on that last minute. We just need a land. Need a black source so bad. Crocs versus the best 2-drop in standard. Yeah, you're right. And we see what's winning, right? The 2-drop. The 2-drop is whooping our entire deck. It's like, and this is how I win so many games when I play Grixis midrange, is you just play this and go, now what? You gotta answer it. You have to answer it, or I'm going to kill you with it. And he's got to do it, and he's got to do it in 30-something seconds here, so. Man, we do need some lands, though. He's stopping it, like he's already clicking past the turn here. He's just pressing F6 and swinging. Come on, opponent. Or come on, game. Just give me a black source. Need that black source. Oh, come on. Come on. Not like this deck. Not like this. Not like this. Well, we might be there. What do you got, opponent? Can you burn us? Got him in cleanup. He was just holding the cards in hand. Yeah. That's brutal. That's brutal. Yeah, cleanup. He got stuck with cards in his hand, so he hit F6 and thought he had made it. And he had 8 cards in hand. It caught him for about 5 seconds there. So that's one of those things where you're going to clock people. You know, make sure you're playing lands and stuff after you start filling up your hand. Man, I hate clocking people, but it is a win con. We seem to do it a lot. It's one of those things you can do online. So I'm not gonna say it's bad or whatever, but clocking him. Man, that game too. Jeez. Had the tools we needed to get the job done. We've looked. There's no other Crocs you need. You're right, Zaxadillo. The deck does not need the Gift of Paradise. You just kind of play through. You're just not going to need that gift. Personally, man, I think if I was going to add more to the deck or anything like that, I think you probably got some room for. Probably got some room for some Fatal Push in the main board or Blossoming Defense. So I would be looking at maybe Blossoming Defense or Fatal Push. In our current meta, you could probably go with Blossoming Defense. You could probably go with Heroic Intervention. All of these are good cards that you might want to bring in that spot. You're pretty good. You're a pretty good brewer, Zach. So I mean, what were you thinking for the other? Well, I feel bad about the opponent's lack of time management skills. That's a good way to put it. Would Carnage Tyrant be any good? Probably, but no. I think if we're going to be doing Carnage Tyrant and things like that, I think that we would want to be just going more green-black value and not trying to have a synergy of having dinosaur or crocodiles. I keep wanting to say dinosaurs. Yes, Carnage Tyrant would be good, and it would be just a direct upgrade from Scaled Behemoth, but Carnage Tyrant is a dino, and it's not a crocodile. So that's kind of where we're at. Like, if you want to stick in the crocodile theme, then you kind of can't use Carnage Tyrant here, but what's actually more important here is a lot of people can't get Carnage Tyrants right now, and we actually just got to show the power of the Scale Behemoth. Yes, it can be countered, but if they don't have a counter, then it's really hard for them to deal with. He had to have 10 mana and 2 Hour of Devastations to wipe the board to get rid of this thing, so we definitely got our value out of it. So, like, I think more importantly than we thinking about trying to put, right, smash that like button. Thank you, Andrew, as always, supporting the channel. There's a lot of ways you guys can support the channel, and it can start right there with just smashing that like button. That, hey, you know you like seeing that. You know that was good gameplay. Maybe there was a pun or two in there, but the idea of Crocodile Tribal, that's great. That's great. Either way, again, I think it's just more important that we realize how good Scale Behemoth is as a budget option for Carnage Tyrant, rather than trying to make the Carnage Tyrant like take the place in this jank deck. But I think everyone understands that anyway. But man, Scale Behemoth was awesome. Vanquisher's Banner is pretty cool. So let's say we needed a little something else in the main board here, and like we got that 4 slot. The only croc we're not running is oh man, I can't even pronounce it. Dakara Scavenger. When it enters the battlefield, you may put target artifact or creature from your graveyard on top of your library. I don't really see that being great, but 6 power seems actually pretty good. Blocks Hazard, things like that, but 6 mana, I don't think that's where I want to be. I'm not really wanting to ramp into anything. I'm actually going to say some Blossoming Defense or Fatal Push in the main board is like, I would just use that. If you could probably go with the Fatal Pushes. So let's say we want Fatal Push and we'll go 3 Fatal Push. I think everyone should be running Bonus Hunger right now because a lot of Carnage Tyrants are becoming a thing. Indomitable Creativity. Oh yes, if you guys did not get to see Game 1 with Indomitable Creativity against Red Deck, oh my goodness, you guys have got to go back and watch that. Wow. I mean, we just crushed Red Deck. It was so mean. Like, Red Deck got salty and was like, oh, this jank, and just scooped on us, right? We didn't even get to swing on him. Like, he was still like all of his life total, and it's just like we're at 5, and he's like, scoop. Can't do this. It was great. It was great. Like, we need a salt shaker for that one. But yeah, Bonus Hunger fits really good here. Like, you might even want to put this main board, but I kind of doubt it. The card's not bad though. Another card that you could probably run in the side here would be the Golden Demise. Golden Demise is a card that's starting to show up on my radar a little bit, as it's not a bad card. I mean, you know, neg 2 to all creatures until end of turn. This isn't going to kill hardly any of your crocs unless, you know, like your Belful Ammon or something like that has been like a salt emoji, right? A little salt shaker. Yeah. There's a lot of people that have salt emojis though, right? Like, isn't there a salt emoji? There's got to be a salt emoji. Search emojis. There's got to be a salt emoji. There's not. Oh wow. I might have to make a salt emoji. I mean, we've got good emojis right now. If you guys want to get the emojis for the channel, just hit that sponsor button. There's a way that you can support the channel, and you get some cool emojis there. The golden nut for top decks, you know, things like that. Anytime you want to show some support or some hype, you can use that golden nut. Want to call me out on a punt? You got your punt emoji there. And then we're working on the tuning up of the smash emoji, but it's rocking. All right, guys, that was our Croc Tribal here. Again, I think you could probably you might want to bring in a Golden Demise or so. And then the other card would either be Heroic Intervention or maybe even a Dispossess. Dispossess is right. You need to be on YouTube Gaming to be a sponsor. If you're on YouTube Gaming, you'll see this green button right here, and you can push that and become a sponsor. Anyway, let's see. What are we doing next, huh? We've got this Esper control here that Gnerb built for us. I've got to turn some cards in, so we're gonna do that. We're gonna jump over to Mana Traders. We're gonna give them their cards back, and then after we give them their cards back, we'll grab the other cards we need and jump into this Esper control. Seems like it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it. I'm ready for some Esper control. Thomas, what's up? Hey everyone, love the chat on these videos. Very friendly and welcoming. You know, that's what type of community we are. It's what I think most Magic communities are. Just really good people that just want to interact, have you know, have some brain function go through their day. Most of us live such linear lives where you're just doing the same thing over and over and over. It's great to play a game of Magic or something like that and interact with other people that's outside your norm. And the beauty of Magic is like chess. You can play over and over and over, and the chances of playing the same deck or the same game is just it's astronomical, the chances of playing the exact same game. So anyway, you know, that's all right. So we've turned in our cards with Mana Traders. We're gonna jump down here. Let me gotta check that wish list. Always gotta clear the wish list. So we're gonna grab this Esper control deck. Add the missing cards. Wish list, export. Of course, we want to replace it. All right. So we'll jump over to the builder. Import the deck. Absolutely. Upload a file. What did you guys think about having Mr. Toms in chat last night? The owner of Mana Traders come to visit us, right? Isn't that awesome? That is awesome. So we've already got the deck pulled up here. A little bit of you know, some expensive cards here. This is a real control deck. We're going to be sitting around doing a lot of nothing until we finally decide to do something. So, you know, that's kind of how control works. But what? Who's leaving? Andrew, you gotta go. Take care, buddy. I hope you have fun and whatever it is you're doing, whatever your endeavor is. But absolutely, we'll all smash that like. We're up to like 30 likes now, man. That's awesome. You missed last night. Man, we had some fun last night. Like, last night became one of those tea drinking nights, you know. But yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun last night. We played so many decks. Val's deck ran really good. I guess the worst deck we played last night was for the Hordes. I'm sorry, man. I'm picking at you. His deck is so good. I just didn't pilot it really well. And that happens. And, you know, as always, you shouldn't play a deck that just doesn't meet your playstyle. Like, there's usually more than one strategy out there. And, you know, try to play one that meets your playstyle. Like, I have no interest of getting back into... Really? I have no interest of getting back into the Masterminds decks. Ugh. It just feels so bad. If you don't need to use it on 4, it's fine. It's fine. Alright, turn 18, I'll cast Mastermind, go get this other thing. I've got plenty of other mana to do other things with, that's fine. But if you need it on turn 4, and your plan is to go pull something out of your sideboard to save your life, then you're already dead. So I definitely don't like that. Why did the bot not trade with us? There we go. Alright. How about this Azor the Lawbringer? I am the law. Azor the Lawbringer. Alright, guys. Here we go. We're gonna have some fun with this. This is gonna be fun. This can be fun, right? It's control. Control's always kind of fun. Nah, I like control. Val's the control player in the house, but I like control. I like tempo more than I like control, so I like a mid-range deck that's set somewhere just on the back half of mid-range and almost in control. So, you know, I think you call that like late tempo. You know, it's tempo that's not going to kick in till late in the game. Like, I'm going to control you, get you hell-bent, and then, bam, I'm going to hit the gas so hard that you cannot catch up. That's what I want to do in Magic. You know, which is great. I mean, that's my way of playing. That's kind of what we got going on here. We've got Fatal Push in the early game. We've got Search for Ascanta to set up and help us start getting those draws we need. We've got Profane Procession to help, you know, stop almost everything in an enemy's deck. I'm not 100% on 4 copies of this here, though. It's a legendary enchantment. I don't really want to get caught with it, but we're only going to get 3 activations out of it. And then it's going to flip, and then we can put the other one down, and then we have the option. Okay, do I want to bring your something back, or do I want to take something else with the new one here? Against like a God-Pharaoh's Gift deck, this right here can completely just win the game. Absolutely just win the game. Okay, you're going to bring this back, I'm going to eat it. Okay, you're going to bring this back, I'm going to eat it. You're going to bring this back, I'm going to eat it. And since they're all tokens, this will never flip. And for 5 mana, you can absolutely answer God-Pharaoh's Gift every turn. This card alone will shut down most of the blue-black decks, as if you can resolve it, they only have 1 or 2 spells in the entire deck that can answer it, either a Commit to Memory or a Consign to Oblivion. And neither of them are normally a permanent answer for the deck. I do like the fact that there's enough copies of this in the deck that we're going to see it most games, but again, I am a little bit worried because we're going to draw through our decks most of the time, and I think this is going to be held in the hand a few times, normally with an extra copy on the battlefield, or I'm going to be holding it in hand and need you know, a different kill spell or something. Now, this deck's got a lot of things that make you want to tap out, which is not exactly where I want to be in control. I would rather like have a ton of 2 mana spells right here, but this deck's not necessarily going to sit back and just say counter, counter, counter. Yes, there's some counters. This is more of a sorcery speed. I'm going to tap out. I'm going to do things that you have to answer, and it's pretty good. I kind of like it. I do think that it needs a little bit more on the control side, but it is so based around this Profane Procession that all you gotta do is get this thing down. Against most decks, they can't answer it, and now you're gonna start getting their creatures. So, you know, I don't want to lose. No one to argue, just making a general statement about Lantern control. Wow, you got Lantern control players are just evil people. Maybe they are. You're a mid-range with control elements all over. You just want value. I agree with that, James. Yeah, like nobody wants to go argue with. I don't know. Some people might want to just go debate about a deck or something. MTG, right? If it's not fun for both players, it ruins Magic. Well, look, losing is never really a lot of fun, so no matter how you lose the game, I'm not going to say that a deck is really depressing until, yeah, only 60 watching, Tom. I'm not going to say that, you know, your opponent's fun rate, you know, is a big deal until 40-50% of the meta is playing a depressing deck. When, you know, 50% of the time you're going to sit down and play against something that you're like, great. And that's kind of how it was with Teamer Energy. People were just, you know, they would sit down in front of Teamer Energy and they would say, oh man, and then they would either win that match or lose that match and then move on to the next match, and then like they sit down, Teamer Energy again, alright, whatever. And that's kind of how things were, and that's, most people don't want to be there, so that's when decks get depressing. Alright, we're gonna try this Esper. We're gonna try this Esper list. We're gonna go attack Dimstar 16, so we're coming for you, Dimstar. You ran Mono Black Devotion in Standard, and that was you were one of those people. You know, from time to time, we're all one of those people. I currently play my own version of Grixis Midrange, and I feel like one of those people most of the time. I feel like I am that a-hole that is playing that stupid deck that everyone else is not really fond of. Alright, so I'm going to keep this, and we're going to start off with this Glacial Fortress here because we don't have plains or... Yeah, that's fine. Oh, never mind. I just fixed everything. We've got a lot of land. I like that in control deck. I definitely want to be hitting my lands. So at this point, I can just drop this Concealed Courtyard. We can kill this Servant of the Conduit and go from there. We'll cycle this one. Yeah, let's kill the Servant. I don't want him to get his Hydra down next turn because the Hydra is going to come down. Like, that's part of it. Like, this is about to happen. We're about to see a Hydra into Hadana's Climb. I was calling it Hadalta's Climb. Somebody got onto me in comments. It's like Hadalta. Or, no L, no T. So it's like Hadana. And I was definitely butchering it. Anyway. An A25 draft. What? Blood Moon Bridge and SSG. Oh my goodness. What? Another one? Okay. Well, let's say I want to play Profane because I've got nothing better to do this turn. And then we'll just pass. Not a lot I can do here. He's going to get his Hydra down. We can make him, like, so he goes Hydra. We make him spin. Oh, yeah, we can do it. We're fine. Alright, we're going to make him spin. Man, I can't do that. Hold on a minute. I wanted to make him spend energy here, and then we just chump block it. But it might be better... Might be better to just take the Servant and then cast it next turn. Sure. I'm gonna go for the energy. We're just gonna make him spend his energy. That's horrible, but we're gonna do it. He may just go, you know, Hadana's Climb this turn, spend the other energy, and at that point we're almost dead. But if he does spend the other energy because he's gonna go to Hadana's Climb, he's gonna take that route, then we should be alright. Alright, so we take the 5. Alright, well, this will be decent for us. Magic should not rotate their set every year. I'm going to disagree. Like, I like the fact that Standard rotates. One of my favorite things about Standard is that it is not an eternal format, and I am glad that it is not an eternal format and that it shakes up. I was so happy with the bannings, but yet I had been playing Temur Energy. I had been playing Grixis. I was playing the 4-color deck. So personally, the bannings were not that, like, devastating for me. I was okay. I was okay with the bannings. Like, it shook up the meta, and that shake up alone is, and that's everything. So you know, constantly changing is great. You know, it evolves. It means that we have to, you know, keep looking at it. We have to keep you know, trying to make it work here. All right, well, we might be in some trouble. We're gonna see if he's got the blossoming defense. Okay. So I think here we just block. We'll stop the 5 points of damage. All right. That gave us a lot of information, and we didn't have to take damage. So I'm really happy with that exchange. Okay. All right. So we're looking at. So this will deal with the climb. No, I didn't want to just cast it out. I wanted to Ixalan's Bind it. I'm going to take the 8 points of damage next turn, and we're just going to kind of go for it. There's another Hydra. All right, so maybe I should have tried to make him spend his energy here, but I don't think we would have got away with it. Yeah, we're in a bad spot here. Settle off the top would be great. Yeah, we're not going to get there. Yeah, I don't even want to show him that I have Tormented Hellfire. We would just have to pull a Settle. Like, that's the only thing that would save us at this point, is we'd have to pull Settle. We could stop this. We could take more than lethal. Yeah, the Hydras just got there. Again, the Hydras are back in the meta, guys. Like, I was screaming Vona's Hunger for so long, saying, hey, you have got to have, ways to make them sacrifice creatures. At this point, Vona's Hunger may not be enough. You may really just want to have a Fumigate. You want to have something like that. We have no Fumigates in this deck whatsoever. I think that if you're going to have win cons in a control deck like this, then you need, like, we're definitely not a control deck. We're running this many creatures. Yeah, like 4 of this. If that's going to be our only creatures, is the Scarab God and, Hostage Taker, and then whatever we can take from them, that might not be enough. I'd rather just have Gear Hulks here. 4 Gear Hulks seem like they would be better than 4 Hostage Takers. Even with, the Profanes and the Azor's Gateway, I just don't really think we've got enough. I don't think we got enough interaction. So I'm gonna cut a Profane, and we're gonna cut a Hostage Taker, and we're gonna go with Lost Legacy. Azor seems decent, and I'm liking these disallows. Forsake the Worldly's probably gonna be pretty decent. So let's do that over these cast outs. Fatal Push will be decent, but I don't think it's where we want to be. I think I just want to be countering things. Yeah, let's try this. Let's try to run it back like this. We've got a lot more counter. We can set back. We can be much more controlling. No, I'm not worried about Authority here. Authority, I worry about that with haste creatures and things like that, because Authority just turns off haste. I almost cut the Gateway. I did. I almost cut the Gateway there. We don't have white. But we've got the Scarab God, so if we can get into anything, like, he may just get ahead of us here, because, like, this deck's got an awesome, like, turn 4. So you turn to a Servant, turn 3 Hydra, turn 4 Climb, Blossoming Defense on the Hydra, pump the Hydra, climb the Hydra, swing for, like, it's a crazy amount. But you can also just go like Snake. Well, there's a white mana. You can go Snake on 2, play Hadalta on 3, or Hadana's Climb on 3, play Hadana's Climb on 3. Snake goes to 4, swings for 4. They're at 16. On 4, tick it up. The Snake goes to 6 plus the Blossoming Defense on the Snake. You flip it. It gets what is it? Plus, it's swinging for 16. So it jumps up to 8. So it's 6 power plus the blasphemy defense to go to 8 power. Double the 8, 16 is lethal on 4. So that's an option. That is something that you can do with those decks, and that's why people are like, this Hadana's Climb is so good. But it does give you that option that you can just bam, 20 damage on turn 4. Now, granted, you got to be holding the golden nut to make that happen, but you draw it. It's definitely in the deck, and yeah, it's great if it works, right? But the argument dies to removal is never just this great argument, but that dies to removal. That whole line dies to removal so hard because you're going to tap out on 2, you're going to tap out on 3, then you're going to tap out on 4. But on 4 you are tapping out with your dude having protection, but you don't even have a mana open to give protection until turn 4. So if they have any way at all to deal with the snake, man, that ain't going to work for you. When am I going to play another of the challenger decks? I'm going to play one this week. I'm going to try to get in the snake deck, and then we're going to play the red deck. So I'm going to try to get 2 of them in this week, but I also want to get a game of red-green monsters in. We also got a Debs deck that we need to do. So there'll be some streaming tomorrow, and I got a couple other things I need to do tomorrow, but one of those is going to be get all these decks out for you guys. All right, well, we'll just play a land that he knew about and pass the turn. What's everybody's favorite channel? Sideboardmtg, of course. I'm your favorite Magic channel, and my favorite Magic channel is SBMTG. He even does a rap about it. Your favorite Magic channel's favorite Magic channel. So, that's where it's at. Plus, there's not another vicious conquistador streaming for you guys. Like, it's just me. It's just me. This is the sweetest stash, right? Come on. What? What are you gonna do? Fine, you got our binding. Go on. Get out of here with that. Go on, opponent. Okay, so he knows we got hostage taker. So if he plays anything, that means that he's definitely... So he doesn't have removal. Okay. So the opponent does not have removal. Alright, well, the only thing we can do here is play and pass. It's all about the stash. Right. Came for the lamp. Everybody's like, I came for the lamp. I'm not even worried about your stash. Here for the lamp. What is this? This is not what we want. Well, we're gonna go ahead and slam the Scarab God. See what happens. I mean, if he's got his Vraska's Contempt, then he's got his Vraska's Contempt, and he's ready to go. Aw, come on. It is an acquired taste. Seth's voice is definitely an acquired taste, though. He's awesome. He's always trying to help people and stuff, so I like Seth. Speaking of him, he just came out with his Much Brew, Dubious Champion in Modern. Just get that notification. Bam. We start talking about Seth and his notification pops up. That's awesome. You love his voice. At least he doesn't have an accent like my... Oh, he just doesn't want to let me untap. Really? Because he just pitched Glint Sleeve and a Bristling Hydra into the graveyard. And he's like, I don't want to let you untap. No. No. I'm like, alright, I'll take your Hydra. How good is Fatal Push going to be? Maybe not great. I think we run it back. I mean, he's on the play. Fatal Push might be a little bit more powerful. Honestly, I want to take out, like, Torments. You have no idea what Gnerb means? He just gave you a Hydra. That's what I think what he said. I think he tried to say he just gave you a Hydra. Well, we need a colored land at some point, but this will work. It's dus Esper control. Right? Wedge did go MIA. I sent a comment out to Wedge. You know, you guys know me. I do everything public. But I sent a comment out to Wedge on his latest deck tech on the red green or the green blue pummeler, and I just asked him. I was like, "Hey, you mind if I started a Wedge's decks?" And we'll see. If he answers, then we'll do it. So Wedge only puts out like 1 or 2 deck techs a month. He does a lot of other videos and stuff like that, but he also plays a little bit from time to time. So if Wedge does put out, you know, a deck tech, I'm game. I'll start playing him. I'm gonna kill this now. I don't want him to Hydra yet. I at least want to get my profane down and then start like doing that work. We're gonna have to save our energy until we get another white source, just to make sure we can settle when we need to. But yeah, I mean, this profane may just be able to do the job. So many people are scared of this card. It just lands, and it's like, well, that's like the Scarab God. You can't beat that. I mean, if it's a Grixis deck, they can't beat it. They can't kill it. Okay, well, we'll just play a Scavenger Grounds, black or white, colorless, and Profane Procession. Well, next turn we get to just play Aether Hub and pass the turn. We're probably not going to settle unless he has like a Hydra or something. Ooh. Actually, I can just play the Glacial Fortress and we get to save our energy. So is he drawing cards? Yeah, he's drawing cards. Bum, 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 bum. I am not. I definitely plan to Glimmer at end of turn here. I'll take the 2, and then next turn we get to start eating things, and then, ooh, it's gonna be good. Well, I can try it. Like, nobody owns a 60 card deck. Like, nobody owns an idea that nobody's putting 75 cards together and then sending it off to get a patent. By the time they get their patent back, we'd be out of standard, you know. So nobody owns 75 cards. It's kind of just one of those courtesy things. So I could always just pull up Wedge's deck and play it if the community wanted me to. But I would just rather approach it to the point where, you know, we ask Wedge, hey, can I do it like I do a Dev's deck? And, you know, like, give him the credit. Use his link, you know, things like that, like I do for Dev. And, I mean, I doubt that I'm sending much Dev's way, but I have had people stop in chat and go, who's Dev? So, you know, if that's happening, then cool. Alright, we're going to put the land at the bottom. I'm going to put the Supreme Will on the top because I want to have the counter spell. And then... well, this will be pretty decent here. We're more than likely going to just like hold up the Supreme Will. I'm definitely just going to take the 2 damage. If he doesn't cast anything though at end of turn, I will try to snag that Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Sure, opponent. Sure. You got me. Take the settle. Take the settle, take the Supreme Will, whatever you want to do. If he takes the settle, then that leaves me Supreme Will and he can't cast anything this turn, and instead of Supreme Willing, I take the Glint Sleeve Siphoner. If he takes the Supreme Will, then he goes to swing with the Glint Sleeve Siphoner to get an extra energy. I pop the Glint Sleeve with a Settle the Wreckage. So the opponent's kind of like, yeah, what do I get? Alright, so he wants to get a Hydra down. Fine. I mean, he's at the threat of me settling, so like he's at the threat of does he want to swing or not, and he has to swing. The question is do I settle him? No, I'm not going to settle it. I'm also not going to activate this in the middle of combat either and let him Blossoming Defense and hit me for an extra turn and I lose a whole turn. So we're not going to go that route. Well, I definitely acquired the taste for MTG Goldfish. I always liked MTG Goldfish. Speaking of which, I mean, I just put up my favorite streams and things like that on my YouTube page. So now if you go to the actual YouTube, you know, Sideboardmtg YouTube page, here, I'll pull it up. You can see my favorite Magic content right there. We've got Tolarian Community College, Community. We've got Strictly Better MTG, which is Dev. We've got MTG Goldfish, MTGO Traders, Terran over there. Top Level Podcast, where, you know, that's Patrick Chapin and Michael Flores. It's just a blog they do once or twice a week. Awesome. I'm not really big on investing in Magic, but I love to hear Rudy's rants. I just find him funny. I don't even buy and collect Magic like that. I play Magic, so this is not really a Magic players channel. But Rudy's funny. I can't help it. I like watching his stuff. Star City Games, because that's where you're going to find those replays and stuff. Loading Ready Run, one of the best comedy sources in Magic. The Mana Source, because it's Wedge. I've just been it's Wedge, and then Jin Dokushi. Man, I'm butchered that one. But they do the Magic storyline like as a voiceover storyline. It's awesome. It's awesome. So if you guys do want to like soak up a little bit of Magic lore, you can do that with Jin there. So all right, well, we're gonna try to get rid of this one. So wow, he paid a life to Blossoming Defense. So he's leaving this blue up. Wow, all right, he's got a counter spell. Got that counter spell, huh, opponent? All right. I'm gonna do it now. Let's see your counter spell. Alright, that'll keep him from drawing an extra card. Yeah, it makes me tap out. It's going to make him actually add more to the board. Sure, go get that. Go get the settle. You need to take the settle. He did not take the settle. Alright, so Torment's getting too scary for him. No Hydra. Oh. Alright, so here's the reason I'm going to play the Scavenger Grounds. Because I want to be able to play Search for Azcanta. But I also want to have open enough mana to be able to Profane Procession. There's that counter spell. There we go. Alright, well, we'll pass the turn here. The opponent is definitely probably about to lose to Profane Procession. I'm not even going to joke. Like, he's probably about to lose to Profane Procession. Again, we'll just wait to end of turn. We'll activate Profane. We're not scared to activate Profane, and at this point I'm pretty sure the opponent's like, I've got to throw things under the Procession so that we can get this thing flipped and I won't have it anymore. The beautiful thing about it is if he does flip it, then we'll draw another one. I mean, we have more. Oh, wow. I'm going to cast it. So let's just tap out here. I mean, if the opponent's got a counter, then the opponent's got a counter. But we're just going to go ahead and fire it off for 5. 5 will put him at 1 if he can... Oh, he's got a negate. Cool. Alright, well, nothing wrong with that. Alright, well, we'll just pass the turn here. At this point, I wouldn't mind having another creature. If he would play like a snake or something for me, that would be really nice. Wouldn't mind having a servant. If he'd play me a servant, that'd be good. But yeah, the opponent will have to kill us, and I think we've got ways to kill him if he doesn't kill us. We'll see. Okay. Bristling Hydra entered the zone, so did he throw it in the graveyard? No way. Threw a glint sleeve siphoner as well. I'm gonna go ahead and try to eat this. And this way we can go ahead and just flip it. Oh, he's got protection for it. No way. He's gonna Vraska's Contempt it to keep me from... Isn't that so cool? Well, here's a win con. There's a white source. Here's another white source. We're going to go blue, blue, colorless. Well, meet Azor, the bringer of law. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a lot of fun right here. We can actually grab our own creatures with this. So he's got to play a creature. He can't play a non-creature spell. There's this... Okay. That's fine, opponent. That's fine. You do know how this works, right? Like, so now he has to wait to our turn. At that point, we'll untap. If we untap, we can target our... I'm gonna go ahead and crack this. Yeah, he's gonna have more mana. He can go get a black source if he wants. If he goes get a black source, it means he's probably got Vraska's Contempt, which means I will put Azor under here. Maybe? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We could actually play Hostage Taker. No, that would make him play all of his. So we can go blue, 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 white, X. So we go blue, blue, white. 1, 2. How much we want to? How many we want to draw? We just want 3 to fill our hand back up, or we want 2 and just keep open. We could be. We're gambling if we take 3. So we'll go blue, white. If we take 2 here, then really. Blue. What did I just... What? I don't know what just happened. Some major punt right there in trying to tap that. I guess I gave up priority and I didn't draw cards. I was going to draw only 2 cards, which meant that I had to actually pull another source of mana in order to be able to activate this on turn. So maybe we'll just kill him in 2 swings. Okay. So we'll make him either spend a card or spend some energy. So we're gonna go black, white, or white and black. Colorless, colorless. Here we go. Alright, he makes it. Alright. Okay, so now we've got... Let's just go with the Hostage Taker. Yes, I could draw cards with Azor, but I'm not even worried about that. We're gonna go for getting blown out by a blossoming defense here. So we're gonna go to take this. And he's either gonna let us have it, or he's not. We're gonna find out. Oh, he's gonna scoop to that. He's gonna scoop to the fact that we just got him. So for those of you that don't know exactly what was going on there, with the trigger on the stack, he didn't have enough energy left. We were going to then take it. It was going to flip our Profane Procession into a land that he couldn't answer, at which point we would get a hostage take, or we would start getting his creatures for 4 mana apiece. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Gnerb, I kind of like what you got going on here. I do like the Profane Processions. There's so many games where Profane Procession is just the win con. One of the things I'm going to say here is because you can target your own creatures with Profane Procession, I think you could have a little bit of fun with this thing. I was really happy to not draw into another one while I still had one active and working. I do think that we can come off of one. The Azor's Gateway. Gateway's good. I think you want a little bit more control in the deck. I'm gonna say I really want some Essence Scatters here, and that's because Hydra is becoming such a thing. Like, if this is going to be what you have to rely on, then I think Essence Scatter is gonna fit in here. Maybe a 3 of, but we're just gonna go in with 2, and then of course you're probably gonna want some Vraska's Contempt at some point in the mana base. Not 100% on exactly where you would want that. Scavenger Grounds, I like Scavenger Grounds, but I actually, if you're running the Scarab God, I actually prefer to just have a Crook. If you just don't have the spots, then I understand, not having Crook in the sideboard, and having Scavenger Grounds in the main board's not bad either. I did like the Azor. He was really, really good. Let's say we want to bring in a couple Disallow and we can actually play. Like, maybe not. Maybe we don't need the counters here main board like that. Maybe we just want a little bit more Keel, or probably Fumigate. So the real reason to need Fumigate right now is because of Carnage Tyrant and cards like that. So I'm definitely going to go with 2 main board Fumigates. Probably going to say you can come off of one of these Disallows for a 3rd Fumigate in the side, and I think that's just because that's going to be necessary. I mean, if you're not going to run Bonus Hunger, which I recommend people run Bonus Hunger, especially if you got Torrential Gear Hulks, if you're not going to be running Bonus Hunger, then you're going to need some way to wipe the board. Otherwise, they're going to give you a Scaled Behemoth or upgraded versions, Carnage Tyrant, something like that you're going to have to exile. Or you're going to have to Wrath before it's gone. So I mean, you're not going to Profane Procession Carnage Tyrant. You're not going to be hitting Carnage Tyrant with any type of targeted removal. Hence the word Hexproof or One-Sided Shroud, Troll Shroud. When I started playing Magic, Hexproof was called Troll Shroud, and it was just kind of nicknamed. I'm glad it became an evergreen mechanic. We had a mechanic called Shroud where not even you could target your creatures. So Shroud on one side, Hexproof if you will, is going to just kind of stop this deck cold if you don't have the Settle the Wreckage. You do have to kind of just have a Settle. We were holding Settle for a while there. Fumigate's good. So I like the Fumigate and Settle package. 3 and 2 seem really good in the main board. I don't know if I would go with the full 4, but that gives us a little bit more room. Because this has cycling, you could probably get away with it right now. There's more and more enchantments getting into the decks. You might even be able to put this in the main board, but you don't necessarily need to. You've also got other ways to deal with things. I don't think you need this Die Young. I don't think this is the right deck for Die Young. First off, yeah, I know it's going to give you something to do with the energy that you don't really need. So, sure. Die Young would work there, but I just don't think you're going to need it. Like, anything that you would play Die Young for, which is something that you can't, like, it has to be exiled, or it has to be neg 1 when neg 1 countered or something like that, you're going to be able to Profane Procession it. Profane Procession, if you did get it down on 3, you're taking a beating. The hazard's coming in on you. You can deal with hazard permanently. Just exile it. The beautiful thing about Profane Procession is you get a couple things exiled. They finally deal with your Profane Procession. It's not like one of those Journey to Nowhere where all of a sudden, bam, all of their creatures are back, like a Angel of Sanctions or something, one of those others. They exile from here. They are gone until you either flip this and start bringing them back yourself, or no, they're gone. They're gone until you flip it and start bringing them back. So that's really good. I do think that we've got a little bit of room for one other card in here, and I don't think that Torment is it. Honestly, I would love to see these Profane Processions in this Grixis control, or not Grixis control, Esper control. I would like to just see it with some Gear Hulks. I just think that Gear Hulks are really, really good right here, and a couple blue Gear Hulks would be fine in this deck. You have all the tools that you need to use blue Gear Hulk. Getting away with Settle the Wreckage, getting away with a lot of these cards would be really good. Hostage Taker, because you have the Scarab God. I know like the idea is to take their stuff, but there's another good way to take their stuff, and it's going to give you a little bit more utility, and that's Gonti. Gonti, Lord of Luxury. I actually like taking their stuff with Gonti more than I like taking it with Hostage Taker. And again, right now we're about to run into green. A lot of people have been on this green-black Constrictor train, and now that someone finally figured out a way to play with green-black Constrictor that requires 0 of the Scarab God, so we're 0 in the list, which means it's a really budget, really cheap list. Hadana's Climb is going to be one of the few things you need to upgrade, that and a few lands to just take the new Challenger deck and just upgrade it straight into the Hadana's Climb deck. And it's great to see someone finally kind of figure out where that list needed to be to really fight back in the meta, and it just seems like it needed Carnage Tyrants and Hydras and Hadana's Climb, and that's kind of all you need. Works kind of like Pummeler without Pummeler. So like somebody called it a pummelerless Pummeler. So that's pretty cool. All right, guys. What do you guys think about the decks tonight? Did you guys have fun with these decks? Do you think that they were interesting enough to want to play with? In the sideboard, what would we do? What would we add here? Probably just first off, I would get rid of these Duress, and I think my sideboard would probably end up looking like that. You got a lot of things that you can bring in. You can get a lot of power here. If I was going to take any card out of the sideboard and add one other card in, it would be one Disallow, and I'll tell you what I would bring. I would bring in a Bloodfast. I would bring in an Argyle's Bloodfast, because Argyle's Bloodfast is a really good card in certain matchups. So maybe like that. I don't think this deck needs Duress. I just don't think it needs Duress, but yeah. What? Your list doesn't have Carnage Tyrants. Everything needs Carnage Tyrants. I'm with Gnerb on this. Everything needs Carnage Tyrants. And because everyone else feels like that, and everyone needs Carnage Tyrants, we need answers for Carnage Tyrants, people. You got to be running those board wipes. You got to be running, bonus hunger, things like that. So, by all means, Carnage Tyrant is in the meta. Answer it. Have Death Touch. Have Gontis. Have those type of things. That's what you need. So, deck-wise for coffee time, Justin, you're a patron, right? Just send me a direct message on Patreon, and just say, hey, I got an idea. I want you guys to go over for coffee time, and we'll pull it up Tuesday and look at it. I'm sure Zach Cedillo, he's probably going to be willing to talk about actual decks again, considering we didn't talk about decks last week. We talked about Masters 25. Man, that was such a bad stream. Like, internet was cutting out. I ended up having to cut the stream off and then like repost it and things like that, but we're getting there. What do we got coming up next? So there wasn't a major event that was standard this weekend, I don't think. Maybe there is. Yeah. Azor is cheap. Okay. Alright. So, let's say we don't need that and you want the gateway. Alright. I can see that. Putting the gateway in. Personally, I just think that the Search for Escanta is better than any of them in these decks. But, alright. I'll throw an Azor's Gateway over there. I can agree with that. Thomas, thank you. Thank you very much. I know a lot of people are starting to bounce out. I'm about to, you know, say my good nights and my goodbyes myself, guys. It was a really fun stream. I had a lot of fun with it. I think there were some direct upgrades we could make to some of these decks. Again, I don't like running 4 hostage takers without some way to really protect it. And yeah, I mean, we could Supreme Will and type things like that to protect, but I think Gonti's just better. Plus, you know, just having a diversified threat. Like, you might even want to, like, say, you know, one of these hostage takers becomes like a Vizier of Many Faces. I would definitely throw a Vizier of Many Faces in one of these decks. You could probably even, like, remove one of these, considering you have Ixalan's Bindings and Cast Outs and Supreme Wills, and you have counters. You could probably remove a little bit of that and throw you a Many Faces in. I think I got some of those here in the collection. Yeah. Like, you could probably throw in something like this. Vizier of Many Faces is actually a really good answer to Carnage Tyrant. You just make a Carnage Tyrant, bam. Right? The Tick-Tock Croc. Man, we had some really good games tonight, man. We had oh yeah, the Crook would be good too. But you've got your deserts in the mana base. So that kind of frees you up a couple spots that you would normally use for Croc block. Yeah, that's pretty good. Would you quit Croc blocking me? I'm trying to swing here. Swing low. Yes, Vizier does work on Carney T. It's not targeting. Yeah, you can copy it. Got any other questions there? Yeah, Gnerb, you just copy a hexproof dude. You're not actually targeting them. It's not, you know, it enters the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield. The word target is not in there. So you just Vizier, copy their Carney T, and then now you both have a Carnage Tyrant. So, yeah. All right. Yeah, what do we got? I hope, like, see, maybe we learned something, and that's always awesome. Guys, we've got a devs deck coming up tomorrow. I'm going to be putting out a Let's Talk MTG at some point in the next day or so. So you guys will be able to see that. We'll be talking about the meta. I think my Let's Talk MTG is going to be about, you know, the top decks, probably the top 10 decks that we can expect to see now that the meta is really starting to solve out. Does that mean those are the only decks that are playable? Why, no. It just means that those are the decks that most people are playing, and they're really starting to show up. So, you know, my Let's Talk MTG, we'll probably talk about the meta a lot on that one, because that's kind of what those are. You know, my meta blog, my meta coverage. We'll talk about good ways to beat these decks and good ways to hold these decks back. So, you know, you'll know the cards that you need to be running in your deck to help fend these off. So you can kind of meta-tune your own decks. I've got the devs deck coming up. I think I've already mentioned that. We've got at least one Challenger deck series I'm going to do this week. I'm going to try to do one a week, and you know, for the next couple weeks. And I mean, we've got until mid-April before these actually hit and are on the shelf. So we got plenty of time to actually get the leagues out on these. So we're going to be doing that. But I don't want to just like slam them all in, because I want to get these other gameplays out. So we're going to be playing red-green monsters at some point this week, because monsters is awesome. That the deck is really good. No, it's not the only playable deck. Personally, I laugh at Phoenixes. You slam at the Scarab God and say, do you have struggle to survive? No, you don't have struggles to survive? Fine, hit me for 4 with your Phoenix. Next turn I'm going to lightning strike it, and then I'm going to bring it back, and it's mine now. You can keep your little token. Swing 5 with Scarab God. You want to block with your token, because that's about what it's going to be good for. I'm not really scared of the Phoenix in Grixis. And most people who play Grixis shouldn't be scared of the Phoenix. They shouldn't be scared of red deck. You shouldn't be scared of anything if you're playing Grixis mid-range, because you're playing one of the most powerful tier 1 decks in Standard right now. The second is probably this crazy red-green monsters deck. It's crazy. And we'll talk about that when we play it this week. So that's all I've got for tonight, guys. If you want to help support the channel, you can. If you want to get your deck played on Subscriber Sunday, go hit up the Reddit. There's a link in the description box below. Go check that out. If you want to, help support the channel on Patreon, there's a lot of options over there for you guys to do that. If you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed yet, please go ahead and smash that subscribe button. You know you're going to want to be around for all the gameplay we got coming. Just check the channel out. I put out a ton of standard content. If you are a standard player and you ain't subscribed to this channel yet, then what are you waiting for? Come on. All right. Other than that, what else we got? I think that's it for right now. We're doing great. The channel's growing. It's all because of you guys. Subscriber Sunday was a blast. As always, get over to the Reddit. Vote for decks. Vote for decks so that we know what we're playing next week. What else? That's it. That's it. That's all I've got. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun. We'll see you next time here on Sideboard MTG.